Hello, welcome back. DJ Vic Vapor with you. And we're on to our next lesson. So to kind of recap everything we've done and put everything into context, let's go ahead and build an instrument rack from scratch. So we've gone over kind of a good variety of different ways we can affect it. So let's build one from scratch. So I've got a MIDI clip open, and let's go ahead and grab our rack here and drop it down to the bottom. So now we can start layering our different elements or instruments. And again, I'll go back to the Legacy 7 pack, and we'll start off with an analog pulse. Drag that guy down, drop it in here. Move over to our controls. Let's open up all the different elements here. And what else can we work with? Let's get a digital 8, layer that guy in here. And we'll get a couple of the spectrals. Let's go with spectral 13. Drop it in here. And what else do I want? Spectral 18. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different layers we can start to work with here. And again, you don't have to necessarily have the Legacy 7 pack. You can use any samples you want. I'm just using these for this particular course just to make things a little easier. But if you look at what I've done with the analog pulse, let me go to sample. And digital 8 and a couple of spectrals. Anybody familiar with synthesis knows that basically that's kind of what we've done here, is create a very basic and simple version of synthesizer. So let's see how we can utilize all the things we've been talking about and create something really unique in here, a nice cool sound for us to work with. So what I want to do is begin looking at ways we can add effects to some of these sounds. But first, the 2 spectrals, I think a good idea here would be to pan one, I'd say left, and the other one right. Whoop, come back down here, boss. And pan the other one right by an equal amount. So we've got a nice pan between the 2 spectrals. So let's see here. Let's add a simple delay. Let's go to our audio effects and add a simple delay on the digital 8. Actually, I don't think I want it on the 8, so let's get rid of it. Let's put it on the spectrals. So one there, and we will put another one on here, but we're not going to keep them the same. We're going to adjust them. So this guy, I'm going to just kind of move the feedback and the dry wet a little bit. Let's link it, put it on 3. And say this guy we can put here, maybe here. Let's link it, and I'll just leave it on 4. Getting a nice little sound out of that. So let's see what else we can achieve here. Let's see what we can put. A little erosion on our digital 8. So we've got some erosion there. Let's see what else we can achieve here. All right, just thinking through good ideas. So how creative can we get? Excuse me. All right, let's make some adjustments here. Let me play my MIDI clip. I think on this guy I want to give some LFO. Not too much. All right. Check our digital 8. Just give it a little bit more decay, a little bit more release. And I think we're okay on the spectrals. So let's go ahead and utilize our technique for mapping our macros now. So I think on the, let me see here, on the analog, let's go with, what do we want to map here? Possibly the filter frequency. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do, is we'll work on the, actual LFO would be a good one for. Looking for the envelope. I apologize. I lost my train of thought there. Is it on the one shot? Oh. Where are you? Why can't I find you right now? Oh, there it is. All right, so we're going to assign the envelope to macro 1. Envelope amount. So I'll leave that at 0. Let's hit map envelope to macro 1. And let's assign the LFO to macro 2 for the digital 8. On 3, Let's go with frequency. Here. And then on 4, I'm going to map the feedback of both our delay units. All right, so we've got feedback, filter frequency, LFO, and envelope. And let's kind of take a look at what we've got there, because we're going to have to do some serious adjustments up here. So, all right, map. All right, so on the delays, we want to have the minimum up a little bit on the feedback, because we want that guy going a little bit for us. We don't need it maximized all the way up there. We don't want to get too crazy with it. And then what do we've got here? This is the envelope. I can bring that up to 0. And then the frequency, the LFO. I think we can bring the LFO down a little bit. Let's see what we've got off of that. Just kind of thinking off the top of my head for some of those sounds, but let's play it back. Not sure about that one. Let me see what's going on here. Let me right click and show. Actually, I'm just going to remove it, because I think I've got the LFO coming on and off on this guy. And I don't want that. I want the LFO amount, which would be right there. So let's try that. So let's go to this. There we go. That's what I did wrong. All right, sorry about that. So let's go. Now we've got the LFO amount. Where are you? Right here. So we want that guy here and somewhere in there maybe. Let's see what we get now for a sound. Trying to dial this sound in here for the envelope frequency which I think we will right click again and we will remove and reassign. So let's go back to map and let's grab frequency, map. So a little trial and error, but we're dialing in a nice unique sound here. Hopefully you're getting the idea of what's achievable. Let's see what we've got all together here. I think what I want to do is go back here and invert the feedbacks. So let's do that. I'm going to select either one. I'm going to just right click and invert range. So let's see what we get off of that. Now, some of these are a little aggressive, so let's dial in our volumes here. Sounds a little bit better. So last but not least, to continue on what we've been talking about and what we've been learning, let's hit our chain selector and let's go ahead and get this guy mapped to our other macro, number 5. And then we will stop there and let's kind of put these guys in a good place here where we can morph these sounds. These top two, hover over that. These top two I want to fade between each other, and the bottom two, the spectrals, I'm just going to let run full steam ahead. Let's get a nice fade transition between these two here. And we will open these guys up all the way across. All right, so let's see what that sounds like. And of course, we've got our chain selector map there. Some pretty cool sounds. So let me give you an idea of what I've got here for a MIDI. I've just got a nice little chord here, set up for us with a little syncopation. So we've got the bounce through there. And we can kind of goof around now. And we've got ourselves a nice little rack there from scratch, ready to go. All we'd have to do is save. And again, we'll call this guy, I don't know, kind of nice little tech house synth, I guess would be something like that. Kind of has that tech house vibe to it. So anyhow, creating a synth or an instrument rack from scratch there. Kind of give you the idea. Real basic, but still pretty powerful just in the context of using this chord. And again, we can assign these macros, or we can, within our, if we're using this within a music production setting within Live or whatever, we can set automation lanes for each of these macros as well. So let's move on to the next lesson and see what else we can achieve in working with Racks Ableton Live.